Ohayo minasan! It's me, Chef-sama, and welcome to another Fighting Streamers. This is gonna be a fun stream. I'm gonna have a lot of a lot of interesting things to talk about today. I am going to be talking about the channel in general and how I make my videos. Everything from the writing process all the way to the finished product. Eko-san, welcome. Wolf-san, welcome. I hope you students are gonna enjoy this. I'm very excited. Busy-san, we made it this time. Oh, that's super sugoi. Yes, I decided to start 1 hour later than I did yesterday. I think it works out best for most swordlings that way. So I will go over a lot of things. Oh, actually, let me change the this. That's better, ain't it? Goku-san, welcome. Oh, I have to do your. Oh, okay, I understand. Yes, that's very important that your swordlings work on your homework. It's something that's that it's well, you can have this stream to listen to in the background. So that's good. Ruby-san, I'm doing well. Arigato for asking, and welcome. Speku-san, welcome. So yes, I am going to talk about videos, and as you see, I prepared. I changed up the layout a tiny bit, just so that we can watch videos. I will go over some of the videos and show you my editing techniques that I've used back in the. Well, I won't be showing any editing because it shows it takes up too much power on my computer to do that. So that's something I won't be able to do. But if you have any questions regarding any of my videos, any lore, how they are filmed, how the effects are made, or anything like that, just anything from my videos, I'll be happy to talk about lore, because that's something I really want to. I will also be going over the timeline again for the swordlings who haven't seen it. I think it's a very intricate and very interesting timeline. The lore of the Sephiroth Sword 57 show or the Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden is something I put a lot of effort into. So I'm going to be showing a couple of things, or not. Well, there are a couple of videos that I want to talk about, and most of them are the ones that have a lot of action scenes, very anime inspired scenes. I like to refer to them as live action anime. So first of all, when I started making videos, I did not well, my first video was supposed to be very humorous. I think you can remember my first video was Chrono Trigger, and I wanted to make it was I guess it was inspired a little bit inspired of what reviewers did at the time, and there was a lot of comedic game reviewers at the time. That wasn't really focused on the game too much, and I thought that would be a good hook for the channel to then later discuss a lot of deeper and interesting concepts when it came to just Japanese culture, game design. Just that first video is not very objective. It's just supposed to be a fun time, just a funny little video. Drop in some frames, that's fine. But it was supposed to just be some a fun little video and nothing too serious. Hopefully this works out. There's a lot of dropped frames. I might have to do something about that. But for now, how's the sound? Can you Swordlings hear me? Data-san, we keep getting Western games shoved down our throats, and they never deliver. Look at Cyberpunk. When will people respect Japanese developers again? Well, Japanese developers are getting, as you can see with Cyberpunk, people are not satisfied, which is a good thing, because but it just looks like garbage, and it always. I guess a lot of Westerners are slowly but surely opening their eyes towards what's actually going on, and they realize, wow, maybe these games are just garbage. Why am I even playing them to begin with? And they might look into other forms of entertainment, or they will keep looking at games, and they will eventually stumble upon Japanese games and realize how much better they are. Pita-san, welcome. You can hear us. Okay, good. And also, there's also a few things like I wanted to go over. Like I said, there's a few videos I want to show. I'm gonna pause the video and go over small things. Agreed, especially with visual novels. I agree. Visual novels is something that just doesn't work with Western games because they're not good at writing. So, yes, you don't really get anything good or interesting. But like I said, the first video was more on the channel. I think it's important to know the intent with my channel, because I don't just make content because it's I think it's just fun videos. No, I have a goal with my videos, and that is, or the channel in general, in that I am ever since I made my Dark Souls video, that was my first step towards informing the West about the truth of Japanese games and Western games, and how Westerners, how just Western games are inferior. Not that like I said before, not that is a bad thing, but I think a lot of people get it wrong. I think a lot of people don't, because that's just the truth. That Japanese games are better. Doesn't mean that Western games are complete garbage, but it just means that Japanese games are better in general. That is what it is. Although a lot of Western games are complete garbage. So, with that said, Dark Souls was the first video I made where I talked about just how someone at the time I didn't know that it was a Western, that it was a Japanese studio. It was just like a Western game. How would anybody nobody would know about it just from looking at the game or even playing it. So what happens next after that video? Well, first off, I made, after that video is still my most popular video on the channel with 60,000 views. I can show it off right now, so you can see. Look at this. You see that? This is the first video, and I think only video that I've reached this much. The other video being the first Q&A video, which is very popular for some reason, even though I don't really go over anything interesting about Japanese culture. Very, very strange, but The swordlings are pouring in, Chef-sama. Oh, that is super sugoi. Can't wait to see what the process will look like. Yes, since I can't really show anything right now, because I haven't prepared. If I was more prepared, if I had a couple of days, I would have made a mock-up script just to show what it looks like, and then do some other small stuff. But for now, let's just discuss the channel and what my purpose is. It's to inform the West. Tetsan, what is with the fighting streamers logo? Never understood what the reference of movement is. It's the Naruto logo. If you go and search Naruto, you will see this. You will see that logo. That is the inspiration. And fighting streamers is actually a pun on the name Fighting Dreamers, which is the fourth opening to Naruto. So that is why I called it Fighting Streamers. So, Westerners keep censoring Japanese games because they're afraid of the amazing art and writing overthrowing them. Yes, and they all use excuses. They all use excuses for the fact that they are afraid that the Japanese are superior. Very strange. Strange people, definitely. Let's see. Yes, exactly. I'm actually really proud of this logo. I did not personally make it. My brother Dave made it for me. But I came up with the idea and I told him how to what he needed to do. So I'm really proud of it. Dino-san, when will we see Gaiden 2? I cannot wait. I've talked about this in the past. I talked about it in a video as well. Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden is put on hold at the moment. And the reason for that is because I don't have the right... First of all, my trusty camera that I've been using for years doesn't work anymore. I can't... The battery won't charge, so I can't make outdoor scenes, which is very important for Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden. I don't have enough manpower, not enough people to help out with filming the videos or being just actors in my videos. Only one that I had is Joachim, and even he's very busy, so he doesn't have time. He doesn't have that much time. Income is also one that is a problem. That is something I'm gonna have to do next year. I want to look into getting more equipment for the Sephiroth Sword 57 show and Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden, and for the channel in general. That's gonna be the goal for next year. Is that I'm gonna get a bunch of new stuff, including a new camera that is actually working, of course. Because right now I'm using a webcam. It's a Microsoft Live something. I don't know what it's called. It just says Microsoft on it. I bought that one 5 years ago, and it's I mean, it's working, I guess. It's not the best camera though, but I had to settle. But that is the current. It's not cancelled. I am definitely gonna make it in the future. It's just that I put it on hold, just to show you sortings how, just how much I want to make Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden. I have episode 2, episode 3, episode 4, and part of episode 5, all written down, and the scripts are mostly done, except for episode 5, of course. So I am looking forward to starting working on them. I'm not gonna settle for some indoor scenes or green screen effects. For some of them needs to be filmed outside. I need Gaiden. Gaiden is a passion project of mine, and I don't want to do cut corners and make it look cheap. I want it to be the best it can be if I'm gonna work on it, and it's better to wait and actually make it good, since it's my magnum opus, instead of just getting some okay looking videos and uploading. I'm not okay with that. I want them to be great. Seth, you can be honest with us. Did you cry during the ending on... I did. And I am not afraid to admit that. I think it's a very good thing. It shows the competence of the writers and the game designers, that to get that kind of emotion out of people. So yes. Seth-sama, what is your opinion on JoJo part skippers? What does that mean? What do they mean with skipping parts of JoJo? Do they skip one and keep reading another one? Is that because that's what a mentally ill person would do? Who does that? And I'm not saying that to be insulting. I think that has to be it. You can't just skip story arcs completely. That's not only is it disrespectful, but I don't think that even crosses their mind. There must be something wrong if that is what they're doing. I do feel bad for them though. That's what it has to be. Because if they do it on purpose, that they don't understand what like they understand exactly what they're doing, then they're just being rude they're just being rude to the people working on it. Araki-san and his assistants, that is very rude to just skip some of his work. Who does that? Yada. That's good. Otherwise, it would end up looking like a nostalgia critic movie. Oh no! Don't remind me of that person. Warhammer Dono. That is reassuring to hear you take pride in your work. Absolutely. Konki-san. Konbanwa, Seth. I already knew about Gaiden, but is there any hope when it comes to continuing the Sephiroth Sword 57 show lore? The channel lore is the best part. Arigato. Yes. As you've probably seen, the last one to follow the lore was the Aria of Sorrow review. If you go back and check out the Aria of Sorrow review, there is lore happening in there. Nothing that can continue on past Gaiden, but stuff that happens within those 5 years of them searching for Shadow. I will go over the lore in a little bit later. There's a lot to say there. But the last one you can check is that one. And also, while you do that, there is also a follow-up video that is around 2 minutes long about what Crono and Cloud are doing during the review of Aria of Sorrow. I can actually show. How many of you Swordlings have seen the Aria of Sorrow review? Let me know. Let me know. And if you've seen the follow-up video, because that one did not get many views. Because I can show that on stream for those of you Swordlings that want to see it and don't remember anything from it. Oh, you have? Okay. Yes, so that is the last video. It's just 2 minutes. I don't remember watching it. Well, Omarosu-san, I guess I can show it. I guess I can show it. I like to watch. Naruto. Well, I will show it then, because I think it's an important video for the lore. Says it goes over some very important details and powers of Seph-sama. So let's watch that. It's called Side Story, Sephiroth Sword 57. So, this is when it takes place in the video. Let me just start this. If you remember this part, this is when Seph-sama picks up the Game Boy Advance cartridge from the floor, and he looks around. Someone was knocking on his door, and then this happens. Pay attention.
Do you think Sephiroth Sword 57 will be okay? He seemed to be pretty exhausted back there. Sephiroth Sword 57, you need to be more careful. You've been searching for Shadow the Hedgehog for 3 months without any sleep or food.
But Shadow...
Don't worry, Sephiroth Sword 57. Me and Cloud-san will continue the search. You can take your time and rest up for now.
Arigato, Cloud, Crono.
Don't worry, Cloud-san. With Sephiroth Sword 57's special ability, he will be just fine. Special ability? You mean you didn't know? No. Sephiroth Sword 57 has the ability to restore his energy from reading manga, watching anime, and playing video games, and it's especially effective when he reviews them, exactly like a sensu bean works in Dragon Ball. Wow, that's quite the ability. Indeed, though it's only useful after a fight, since he can't read manga, watch anime, or play video games while fighting.
Konnichiwa, everyone. Yes. And here's where the video is put. On the timeline. It's between... it's after the Doom video. In which Seph Daddy 57 is killed. And before the Breath of the Wild review. So, that's where that one takes place. So yes, one of the things in that video that you heard is that when Seph-sama reviews games, he gains power back, which is one of the reasons why he reviews games, is that he gets stronger from doing it, and he replenishes his health. So, that's one of the important things. Just like they say, it's like a sensu bean or an elixir from Final Fantasy. He gets full MP and HP, and just gets stronger in general. Yes, I would, Omurasu-san, I will go over the timeline later. So look forward to that. That's gonna be great. They're doing a showcase for Seth for Smash in 40 minutes. Me? No, I know you're talking about Sephiroth. Actually, they're doing that. That sounds like a waste of time. Nintendo will pay with their Warui ways. Yes, yes, they definitely will, and stuff is happening. Definitely, stuff is going in the right direction right now, from what it looks like. It's gonna be interesting. You're so smart for thinking so far ahead in your story, Seth-sama. Did you take inspiration from Nomura's writing style? Yes, he is definitely a big inspiration on the Sephiroth Sword 57 show, or Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden, or the Seth-sama channel in general. Definitely. Nightwing-san, is there a way we can watch the Seth-sama lore in sub? In sub? Oh, in subtitles. There's no subtitles for it, unfortunately. But I would say the first Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden episode actually has subtitles in Japanese. So a Japanese swordling went ahead and translated the video and put subtitles on it, which is really sugoi. What's your opinion on Capcom? Oh, arigato, Envy-san. Arigato for subscribing. Does that mean Seth-sama can play games or watch anime instead of sleeping? I wish I had that power. Yes, he can, and it's a very important ability for him. That's why, since he's an objective reviewer, using the objective force to review games, it's very handy. Do you like Cyberpunk, Seth? The genre or the game? Because if we talk about the new game, no. It's a garbage western game. Of course I don't like it. 28 watching right now. Wow, 28 swordlings. That's super sugoi. Yeah, like I said, if any of you swordlings have any questions about the channel, about my videos, specific scenes, lore, my equipment, how I edit my videos, just anything, let me know in the chat and I will answer your question. What's your opinion on Capcom? They've tried pandering to Westerners before and failed miserably, but I think they slowly found their way back into making good games. Oh, they've always been really good with games. Capcom is one of the most trustworthy Japanese developers out there. What editing software do you use? When I edited videos, I don't edit any videos anymore, because my brother Dave handles the editing, because he's done that more than me. So, and he, while I was working hard at work on my script, the editing part is not that interesting, unless it's Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden or any lore related stuff. Then it's important. But the most important part is the writing and the recording. That's the most important part. So I used Vegas Pro is what I used, and I'm sure that Dave also uses that. from what I remember. I think he uses that as well. I always put down notes for him to what he needs to edit in all the videos. Shout out to my brother Dave, Dave Pretendo, by the way. He has helped out with the videos, definitely. We disagree on some things, but overall he has been helpful. This channel was his from the beginning, so arigato to him for letting me start my journey on this channel. It was actually not called Chef-sama or Sephiroth Sword 57 from the beginning. Roku-san, welcome. What type of mic do I use? I use a. Let's see if I can get it in frame. I don't think so. It is a snowball mic, which is not very expensive. It's a blue snowball. It's okay. It's starting to show. I've been using it for over 5-6 years, and it's started to. The quality has started to get worse. Oh, I agree, but there were some years where they gave their IPs like Devil May Cry to Western developers. Oh wait, they gave their IPs to Westerners. Oh, they didn't make those games. That garbage Devil May Cry game was not made by Capcom, so I can't blame them for that. And I'm sure that they really wanted to make games, but they were forced to. They were forced to do something different. But I'm glad to see that they're back. I'm glad to see that it didn't work out, and they're probably happy about that too, so they can make their games themselves. Do you do all the voices yourself? Yes, all the characters that except for Iga-san, I've made. I do the voice for Cloud, for Shadow, for Crono, and I did the voice for 2B as well in the Breath of the Wild video. Well, there's Nanami as well. I do the voice for. So I do the voice for most of the characters. Yes. Who is the kawaii girl that plays Nanami-chan in Gaiden? Oh, that's that's not a girl. That's Joachim doing that. So yes. What's your opinion on Kappa Miki? I don't know what that is. Does Dave help with voices too? He did voice Iga-san. If you go back and listen to the Iga-san video, you will notice that it's very different from my voice. I wanted a different voice, and he was up for it, so he did that. About Joachim? It was, yes, it is Joachim, yes. What software do you use to edit videos? I said it earlier, Vegas Pro. But I don't edit my, like I said too, I don't edit my videos that much anymore. unless it's something very specific that only I could do, or some smaller videos. I'll do that on my own. What video do you consider to be your best? Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden. But if you're not talking about Gaiden, which obviously is one of my better videos, I guess I can go over a couple of videos. Oh! Saruoden-san, arigato! 500 yen!
Come on now.
Come on now. What do you mean? Arigato! Arigato! That is really sugoi. What do I think of Shenmue? It occurs to me that you and Dio are both forklift drivers. Exactly! That is the reason why I got a forklift license. It's one of the best Dreamcast games. It's really good. You can also find all three on the PS4. They are all available. You don't need to get a Dreamcast for it, which is great. I have dishonored myself by not listening. I'm sorry, Seftawa. Oh, don't worry. This is a stream for you for people to ask questions about my videos. So it's so that you weren't available at the time, which is fine. And I haven't really repeated that too many times. What is this? Yes, I am still listening. Yes, I guess it's on Steam as well, but oh! Karamu-san! Arigato for the 1,000 yen!
Chaojin number 1. Hey you, foolish Chaojins who side with justice. Do you really think you can take the 10 million powered me down? Hey you, take a look at how Anan bows down. In front of a rampaging buffalo you have no chance of victory.
I recognize this. What is that? What is that? I recognize that. What is that from? That is definitely from something. Well, arigato, Karamu-san. Arigato for the 1,000 yen. Very sugoi. Jojo. It doesn't sound like Jojo, but I have definitely heard it. I went to a retro arcade / shop today on my lunch break with some coworkers to look for a Dreamcast, but I had no luck. Oh, naruhodo. Well, that's unfortunate. Dreamcast. Yes, the Dreamcast isn't actually very expensive. I got, I had 2 Dreamcasts. Buffalo Man! Oh, it's Kinnikuman. Man. Is that the same?
Buffalo Zangyaku number 1. Great Buffalo Hisatsu number 1 Anyashiku. Hikaru Longhorn Gaome no Namita Hoshi Gataruzi.
Well, arigato for the 1,000 yen, Buffalo Man. That is very, very sugoi. Arigato, that's very sugoi. Wow, we reached 80% now. Oh, that's, wow, amazing. Yes, Kinnikuman, I talked about it on my analyst video, or my analyst stream, where I went over that I have read some of it. and it's a very classic anime, and that inspired a lot of shonen back in the 80s, and it still did to this day. A lot of influences from current anime, shonen, and manga. It comes from Kinnikuman. It's a classic. Yes, these contributions are really sugoi. Arigato. Have I been to Japan? Fishi-san, I have, yes. I went to Japan in 2016. And I had a great time. It's the best country in the world. Really amazing. And I'm going back there, and I'm gonna be traveling the whole country to find the place where I want to live in the future, because I'm going to move to Japan as soon as I can. Any more covers coming soon? I can't say soon, but I am working on it. It's not something that can be recorded right now, but it is something that I am working on at the moment. And you can look forward to more covers in the future, absolutely. Have you ever done an anime reaction stream or anything of that? No, because doing that on YouTube is not a good idea, since it would be just copyright claim and taken down, and it's just not worth it to watch, or even watch. Some people have suggested that I watch anime on stream, but that would not work. They would definitely put that down, and even if I do a reaction or a commentary stream, and just put up a timer on stream, not all sorties will be able to watch together with me, so it's not really worth it. I'm still listening to your wind cover now and then. Oh, you linked it in the... Yes, that's still one of my favorites. Although I will say my absolute favorite cover I made is of Devil Trigger. That is my most ambitious music video and cover yet. I'm very proud of that one. And there are more coming, like I said. And someone asked earlier what my favorite videos are. Well, one of I would say when it comes to reviews, I have a soft spot for the Bloodborne review. I think the ending of it is some of my favorite, because I get to introduce so many of the characters in the Sephiroth Sword 57 universe, like Crono and Cloud. Very sugoi, and that was a fun time. Do you have any pets, Chef-sama? What is your favorite animal? I do like Neko a lot. Although I think both Inu and Neko are really kawaii and really great pets. But I can't really take care of a pet right now. It's too much work, and I need to focus on my channel. You could say that my channel is my pet. So it's something I'm caring about right now, and I want to. Oh, Karamu-san. 7,000 yen. Arigato.
Hello, my theme instrumental. It is my birthday on Saturday.
Eh? Is it your birthday now on Saturday? Oh, subarashi. Wow. That is really sugoi. Wow. We've almost reached the goal. Wow. That's very subarashi. Wow. Well, arigato. I guess the goal has been... I guess it has been reached. But almost. But that's very amazing. Arigato. Arigato, Karamu-san. Well, I wish you a very happy early birthday, then. Tanjobi omedetou, Karamu-san. And arigato for the contributions. That is really sugoi. That's interesting. Because it is our father's. Oh, and here we go. 1,000 yen more.
Hopefully this will reach the goal.
Oh, Karamu-san, arigato. Yes, it exceeded it. Wow. Arigato. Arigato for everyone who has donated. That is really sugoi. Contributed. Wow. Arigato for all the kifu. That's really sugoi. Well, I guess we can take down this. I guess we can remove this. Hold on. Yatta! We did it, my swordlings. Arigato. And arigato for all the swordlings who have contributed over the last week. It's been very sugoi. Get to 200 now. Oh, that would be even more amazing. Now I can. Well, I guess tomorrow I will be ordering that. I will be ordering that router then. And luckily it's. Hopefully I can. Because if I do it early tomorrow, I can pick it up at their. Because they have a local store here that you can pick up stuff, and luckily they might actually. Well, I have to talk to them tomorrow. Either way, I'm not gonna hold my breath though. I don't think I'm gonna have my internet back by tomorrow. But next week definitely, and when I do, I will start making videos. Are you YouTube exclusive streaming or also on Twitch? I am also on Twitch, but it's not very. I guess I will be doing streams there once a month or something like that. It's not really that reliable to do it on Twitch, since most swordlings are here. Just to compare, I did 3 streams on Twitch, and I had around 10 something viewers. Compared to this. How? Oh. Arigato again, Karamu-san. Wow.
300%, here we go. Tell your brother I said hello.
Oh, arigato. Yes, I would say konnichiwa to Dave. Absolutely. Arigato for the 1,500 yen. Wow. Well, there we go. I was curious to see what it is on. Wow. This is really subarashi. Justin-san, welcome. I didn't see your name there earlier. Wow, this is really sugoi. But yes, we are 28 swordlings here right now. including me, there's 29. But I'm a lordling, so that's a bit different. And I gotta help Seth. It's spelled Seth with a P and an H, and not T and an H. But arigato, arigato, Karamu-san. Well, no, there's actually 30 swordlings here compared to Twitch's 10. It is much. It's worth it to stream on YouTube rather than on Twitch. And I can tell you another thing. Let's see. Seth, that's not quite it, but arigato. Is it just me, or have you been disconnecting from the stream frequently? The stream is... Yes, so there are... It freezes for a little bit. I've been dropping frames this stream. Because I'm streaming from my... through my phone. That's why. As you probably notice it now that the video freezes once in a while. But you can still hear my voice, I'm pretty sure. But yes, just to say, my revenue for doing these streams on YouTube is my revenue on YouTube in general is up by 83%. So why would I stream on Twitch? I'm thinking about doing the just chatting, a just chatting stream once a month on Twitch, just to, because there's some people that just watch streams on Twitch, and they want to see some Seth-sama content as well. So once a month I'm thinking about doing it over there. Will you ever do full-time YouTube? Yes, as soon as so my goal is to have an income, a monthly income of 1,000 or around $1,000 dollars. It would probably be a little bit. 900 works as well, but around that I would be able to pay for rent, food, bills, and just the necessities just for living. And that is my goal right now. And once I reach that, I will go full time on YouTube again. And I will let you Swordlings know once I've been able to do that. Then you will see a lot more content here on YouTube, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when. When? Wow, that did take up some time there, but that's okay. That is okay. We've only been going for an hour. I have a lot more to talk about. Yes, and you won't get sexually harassed by Twitch staff on YouTube. Is that a thing on Twitch? Do people get there? Are they shameless? What is wrong with them? Karamu-san again? Eh? 1,500 yen.
Soap-sama, have you ever heard of the game Serious Deadly Premonition, and would you ever? Look into it, or the amazing game series Fire Pro Wrestling, which is the best wrestling series out of Japan, also worked on by Suda51.
Yes, I have heard of that one. I'm not I have watched videos on it, but I have not played it myself. As for Deadly Premonition, I do have respect for Swery, the guy who makes it, but it's just hard to play. I have tried and played it, and it's just too silly. It does remind me of Twin Peaks a lot, and I don't know if it's true, but I've heard that it takes influence from that. Twin Peaks was actually one of the few Western series I really enjoyed in the early to mid 90s. I guess mid 90s. When it was before, I guess it was later on, but when I was around, I guess 11, 12, I guess it was late 90s I watched it. I did watch Twin Peaks, and I did enjoy it. So I have some, I definitely, it's because of the, it's because it was actually made by someone who's talented and have some, you can tell that they have some influence from Japanese writing in there, which is why Swery was so inspired by it, because it reminded him of Japanese media. Karamu sounds like Koromaru. Yes, Koromaru. It's a really sugoi dog from the hit Atlus game Persona 3. It's a good name. These streams have been very helpful for me, Sef-sama. Thank you. Your streams are a peaceful time for me to just relax and take my mind off of everything and enjoy the music and entertainment. Oh, Wolfie-san, that's really sugoi. Yes, I am glad that Soullinks are finding my streams entertaining. Well, that's great. But yes, that was my answer to Deadly Premonition. I can't really play it myself. I've tried. I still have respect for Swery, but it's I don't know. Oh, pieces, and there's no issue on your end. Okay, interesting. Well, let's just let me just read up on a few things here, so I don't miss out. Who needs food? Oh, you have enough. Okay, I see. Well, that's good. I was also gonna. What did I talk about? I talked about the intent with my channel. I never really got to the point. That was the beginning of the stream. We talked about a lot of things today. So, the intent with my channel is to show the West how much we can learn from Japanese culture, either through game design, which it's gonna influence game designers here in the West to make good games. That is already shown in a lot of indie game developers. There's a lot of indie game developers that take inspiration from Japanese games and want to make something similar, which is that is very respectful. It's not like those big Western AAA title companies who just steals. They just take Japanese themes and culture and think that they can trick people into thinking that they respect Japanese game design. No, they just make a Western game with just a Japanese filter on, and they think they can trick people. Awful. What do you think of the video History of Japan? I'd love you to critique it. I would look into it. I'm not sure if I've seen that. Any Western indie games you can recommend? Enter the Gungeon is a very Mega Drive-esque game. Graphics-wise, it looks like a Mega Drive game, which looks really subarashi. And there's also The Messenger, which looks like a Master System game, and also take inspiration from Shinobi. the Sega game. I take it you didn't like Ghost of Tsushima. That's what it's called. I forgot what that product's name was. I haven't played it, but no, it's awful. I can tell. I don't want to support that kind of thing either. People disrespecting Japanese culture. No. Sef-sama, the Yakuza company is streaming right now. Will you react to it? Oh, they're streaming? Oh, can I have a stream? Are they streaming on YouTube? Do any of you sortings have a link to it? Because I definitely would. Although, how long is it? Is it long? Wow, there seems to be a lot of things going on. I would also like to mention that Crono Kiseki, the next game in the Trail series was also announced, and it's a really big deal. Wow, have you sortling seen the screenshots of the new Kiseki game? I don't really know. I want to show the new Kiseki game. It looks amazing. Well, take a look at this. This is the new engine that they're using. And it looks great. They are revamping. They're doing a lot of new things. Falcom is putting a lot of effort since next year is their 40th anniversary. It's they are going all out, and they're gonna have a new combat system for the new game. And they say this is the start of the second part of the Kiseki series. This is the start of the second part? I am excited. Yes, it's really, of course the character designs are great. A lot of kawaii females in there. What game is it? It is Crono Kiseki. There has not been an English title, but it translates to Trails of Black. It's part of the Trails or Kiseki series, like Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel, and the last game was released earlier this year in August, called Hajimari no Kiseki. And I started playing the first game, Trails in the Sky, earlier this year, and it's been really sugoi. Yosura-san, konbanwa. Welcome to the stream. So, yes, the Kiseki games are really subarashi. Or you heard of those? Yes, they are made by... Actually, right now, there is music from The Legend of Heroes 4, which is... the Trails games are part of the Legend of Heroes franchise, which started in 1990, I believe. The first Legend of Heroes game was around that time, I believe. 1990 or 1991 for the PC Engine CD. And the three other games were for PC 88 or PC 98, later ported to PC. Legend of Heroes 3, 4, and 5. and they were also later remade for the PSP. And those, I've played those. Those are really, really great. And then, after 5, they made their 6th game, which is Trails in the Sky. And that's when the Trail series starts. And all the games in the Legend of Heroes franchise from then on takes place in the same universe. And the same world. Fate to Stay United. I've only watched the Fate to Stay United. The absolute first one. I watched that anime. And it was great. But I know that the series is way bigger now. It has gotten way bigger. And I do keep track of some stuff from it, but not. I've not actually watched anything, or read, or played, or anything like that from it. Though I really should. What genre is it? I've never played these games before. They are JRPGs. So yes, great games. In other words. But yes, we're gonna. Have you seen any Grand Blue Fantasy Relink trailers? What do you think of it? It looks. I have. It looks great. Grand Blue Fantasy is something I also want to get into. It looks great. What I mean. Interesting. But yes, I was gonna say, this whole playlist that I have right now is music from Falcom's games. Most of them are from Tokyo Xanadu, the East games, and from the Trails games. Let me send you a link. This is the link to the music, to the songs that I'm using. A lot of Swordlings ask me if I could link it, so I'll make sure to do that now. Whenever I talk about it. And I want to go into it, but it takes a lot of time. The PS2 game is 1,100 hours long, and there is 3 different endings, and each ending has like 2/3 games from what I know. Interesting. There's a lot of really big series that people have a heart because of how big they are. That there's so much to consume that it's just overwhelming for a lot of people. Which is why I think it's important to make games that are good jumping points for people. Or if it's a TV, or if it's an anime or manga, it's good to have a jumping point for new people, so that later they can go back and experience the rest of it if they want to. But yes, I was also gonna mention my channel. I was gonna talk about my videos. That's right. So, yes, the purpose of my videos is to expose the West to the how superior Japanese culture is, and yes, that's the idea. And it has been going really well. There's so many Swordlings. There's so many Swordlings now. I noticed there's a lot of people that still resist and are still in denial. They show up in chat sometimes, and they still They still keep talking about Western games and such, and as long as they are aware that they have a long just ways to go, that is fine, and they want to get better. I have noticed that from a lot of people, and I respect that. It just means that they are just low-ranked swordlings, and they're not quite there yet. But most people here are swordlings who appreciate Japanese culture and probably has learned a lot from my videos, and that's what I want to do. Also, a journey to expose Nintendo. Yes, that's part of it. Absolutely. And I feel like that. Let's just say we're entering the end game of that. I guess that arc, you could say. Because stuff is happening. I'm not the only one who exposed Nintendo for what they are. Slowly, people are starting to realize that something is going on. And I don't want to say, I don't want to tell people what did I say, what I was right, but I was right. And I always known about it. How do you feel about combat anime, such as Baka the Grappler? You mean Baki the Grappler, and Kengan Ashuri? No, it's Ashura, Kengan Ashura, and they're both really sugoi. I have a very good memories from Baki. I watched Baki back in the early 2000s when I first discovered. It was right when I got back into martial arts and I started practicing a lot. That's when I started watching Baki, and that was very inspirational because they are true fighters and not those kind of fighters you see on a pay-per-view or anything like that. You know, those UFC MMA fighters. Those are just not true fighters. They only know how to. They only know how to function inside the octagon. That's all they know. But if they are on the street in a real fight, they would just be knocked around because they wouldn't know what was going on. Baki will get to see how real fights happen. And also how martial arts are useful in real situations. Because Iragaki-san is a very... Keisuke Iragaki is a very talented mangaka and martial art practitioner. And he's able to show a lot of interesting stuff. Have you watched the new... Yes, I have. I watched all of it. Let's read up. What games would you say make good jumping points? My eyes have been open to Japanese games, and it's hard to figure out where to start. Well, if you haven't played a lot of JRPGs, I suggest playing Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger has a really good start and a great hook. Since the game starts off with the Millennium Fair, and there's a lot of things to do and a lot of things to explore and have fun with right in the beginning of the game. It's great, and I suggest playing that one if you haven't. Other than that, I would say when it comes to Japanese games, the East games are really good action RPGs. I played East 8 recently, a few months ago, and it was amazing on the PS4. That's something I suggest as well, or on the Vita if you have it. It was originally a Vita game. But East games in general you should look into. I think they're on Steam or something as well, so you can look at that. But if you like, if you want to go in with for an action game, more of an action focused game, then Ease is definitely a good one. Fast-paced action RPGs. They're fun. You should definitely make more videos about the W slur word. They are really good. Well, I don't really have any more to say about it. I think you all get the point of it. I don't really have. I said pretty much everything I had to say. That you shouldn't use it. It's a bad word, and it's just very. Well, it's very offensive, and that's it. I feel like the mainstream has opened their eyes to Nintendo. Yes, well, slowly. A lot of people are still in denial, but it's slowly starting to something's starting to happen. I personally think for JRPGs, a good modern game to play to introduce you to the genre is Persona 4, which you can get on Steam. That is a good one. Absolutely. If you have any interest in that type of game, then Persona 4 is definitely a good one. Although Persona is a very unique JRPG. And there aren't really anything like Persona. The closest thing I can think of is Tokyo Xanadu. And it's that one is more of an action game. But if you want to play something that's very classic, and that's why I said Chrono Trigger, because it's a classic, and you will get the basis of most the JRPGs and why they're great. And it's a great game to boot, so it's just a really good deal. But for a more, like you said, for modern games, Persona 4 is definitely a good one. Really big channels have started making videos about how bad Nintendo is. Exactly. My mainstream gaming friends finally see that Mario Odyssey is baka. People are waking up from my perspective. That's great. That's what we want to hear. And I put in the work. It was worth it all along. Because now something is happening. Even though all of these baka announcements, stuff is still happening that is... people are finally starting to realize stuff. I apologize for my misspelling, Sef-sama. Oh, don't worry, Whooper-san. That can happen. What's Dave's opinion on Nintendo? He grew up with Nintendo games, so he was was brainwashed as a child, and he's also in denial about Nintendo. He has Nintendo systems, like for example, this thing, not mine. This is not mine. Don't worry, my soulist. This is not mine. This is Dave's Switch that I got to borrow for the Doom video, and he hasn't asked for it back because he doesn't play it. It's just completely useless. Just garbage. I personally prefer Final Fantasy X to 7. But 7 is Super Sugoi 2. Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm using hand sanitizer immediately. Dave still likes Nintendo after all they did. I don't know. I haven't talked to him since. It's obvious that he doesn't really like Nintendo, but it's strange. It's strange. They can't do anything about it. They have been brainwashed since an early age. He has played a lot of good games afterwards, and he has said he said that there are something we do agree on is that Nintendo has no good RPGs, JRPGs. That's something we agree on. So he's not completely lost, like some Nintendo fanboys, Nintendo babies, or Nincels are. They're completely, well, they're completely lost, some of those people. Do you think you can unbrainwash him? I don't know. I don't know how he feels about Nintendo right now. Well, considering he isn't even playing this thing, so I don't know. Yes, Navi-san, I have seen Sephiroth in Smash Brothers. I made a video. I made a video on this channel, and it should express. It's less than a minute long, and it expresses my feelings pretty well in it. You can go check it out, and you will know. Do you think you can save him? We've already stopped talking about the Nintendo stuff a long time ago, many years ago. We decided not to talk about it. Oh, well, I still haven't talked about how I make my videos. We have been going on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. My swordlings. Let's talk about the process of making my videos. What is your favorite Seth-sama video? I'm curious to hear what you swordlings think. It's Smash Violet Sora as well. We have to do something about it. Well, something is going to happen, so I'm glad. When you were in Japan, did Nintendo ever send Yakuza after you? No. At the time, Nintendo didn't really have my eyes on me that much, I believe. That was in 2016, so they didn't really have I didn't really get that many copyright claims on my videos yet. Bloodborne, Pokemon Go one. Naruhodo. Hiking with Joachim. Oh, that's an interesting one. Yes. Well, the hiking video. There are a couple of different videos that I make on the channel. First one is reviews that you all know of. I also make cover videos. I also make some reaction videos. There's a few of them. And there's some informative, just informative videos like the W Slur video, and just the Kojima video I made. And then there's also the vlogs, or the ones that I have done with. You can probably see them. I've done them with Joachim. We had a game talk video where we talk about games that we played and new games that he bought, and we did that hiking video, which is a really fun one. Those are pretty much the main big videos that I have on the channel. The hiking videos are pretty much I just go out with Joachim and we film stuff, or we sit down and talk. It's not really that hard, and I've edited those videos myself, so I think those speak for themselves. There isn't really anything behind it. There's no editing or anything like that. No effects or anything. It's pretty straightforward. Oh, Patrick-san. Yes, we reached it. We got the last swordling to contribute was Karamu-san, who helped reach the goal. Again, arigato to all of you swordlings who have helped and contributed and helped us reach the goal. Very sugoi. The best, I think the best prank you did was when you put the egg on the... That was really funny. Unfortunately, Joachim didn't think so at the time. He does think it's funny now when he did think it was funny. He did say that afterwards. So it just showed that he was in a bad spot at the time, and he was being very unreasonable. But yes, those videos with Joachim, self-explanatory. We set up the camera, or one of us hold the camera as we're filming, and we just talk, and we do stuff. It's very straightforward. Now, the other videos that I make that take up some time are the cover videos. And how do they work? Well, let me bring up one of the videos, and I'm gonna go with my favorite, and you know which one that is.
The darkest of night falls around my soul, and the hunter within loses control.
Hold on. Let me... Yes.
Gotta let it out, gotta let it out.
So this is the Devil Trigger cover.
This demon inside has a hold of me, clenching its power, trying to break free.
Listen a little bit.
Let it out, gotta let it out. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. Move fast, baby, don't be slow. Step aside, reload, time to go. I can't seem to control all this rage that's inside me. Hold it fast, they've been dancing on this. Branded by fire on the abyss. Red hot temper, I just can't resist all this vengeance inside me.
Okay, so these videos are interesting because I would start the video again, but as you can see, the video that is recording isn't actually. So here's how it works: we make the song first, and this one I got assistance from two acquaintances. One being Space Kabuki, which is Joachim's twin brother, Adam, and Vokan-san also helped out a bit. So as it says here, right in the you can see it in the description, right here. And there is we made that song, and then afterwards I did the filming with the help of Joachim. I did film this the music video, and I also edited this one. Dave did not edit this one. He did not have anything for this anything to do with this video in particular.
All these thoughts running through my head, I'm on fire, face burning red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, bang, bang. Pull my devil trigger. Embrace the darkness that's within me. No hiding in the shadows anymore. wickedness consumes me. Nothing can save you and there's no way out.
So, yes, Patrick-san, the alternate costumes, yes, that's something I was gonna bring up. As you see, let's go through all these different. You see, this one has a, as you probably would guess, some of you at least. I know some of you sorties are good at analyzing videos. So there are 3 different Seth in this video, 3 different versions of Seth. We have this one that has a more of a red hue. It's a more of an aggressive, angry side of Seth. It has a little bit more, little anger in this one, which reflects the red color. Next one is the yellow one, which expresses happiness and just as you can see. And the blue one, which is where I'm outside, represent a bit of, I guess, more of a somber feel, as you can tell. It takes in the environments, just trying to relax out in the wild. It's as you can see, there are different. These are 3 different versions of Seth singing the different parts of the song. We can listen to the rest of it, just because we've listened to half of it already.
Not even my temper can put out the flame. There's no way to contain this storm swelling inside me. I'm a bomb you can't defuse. I would just accept you're going to lose. Can't turn down, I refuse to hold back anymore. All these voices inside of my head, blinding my sight in a curtain of red. Frustration is getting bigger. Bang, bang, bang. Pull my devil trigger. When on I dance, it's not over. We ride through to get closer. Like a silver bullet piercing through. I throw myself into you.
Yes, so that was my Devil Trigger cover, which is my favorite cover video that I've made. Now, I have this in the background. Komenasai, my internet cut out, but I think the happy version of you suits you the best. Really? Yes, there are different. They're supposed to represent different emotions in this video. And it's not really different versions of me, but different, I guess. If I exclusively inhabit any of these emotions, this is what Seth-sama would be like. That's the idea of this music video that I wanted to do. Really interesting stuff. Your snow dancing reminds me of Yuna's spirit sending in Final Fantasy X. Yes, that's actually That's actually something that I've taken inspiration from when I have done dancing moves in general. So it's no wonder that it shows up. Where did you learn to play the guitar like that? I did practice a lot of instruments when I was younger. Some guitar. I consider myself a jack of all trades when it comes to music. I do a little bit of everything. I played the guitar, bass. I've played some drums. As you can probably tell from the videos that I've done, used most of those. Piano and stuff like that. I do consider myself a musician, but that's not my main focus. I do that that's the fun part that I want to do with my videos. That's something I do when I want to just do something fun, and it doesn't have to do with my reviews or anything like that. The reviews are more what my, well, I could say my, I love doing everything that I do on this channel. There's nothing I do on the channel because it's good for the channel or that because people just want it. I only make videos that I want to make. So that's how it is. And the cover videos are just straight up fun for me. The videos like the reviews are more when I want to tell people something important or I want to show people the truth about some games, and I'm really passionate about those videos. And I take them very seriously. While the cover videos, I want to be well made, but I mostly just have fun. But Lurs, even Lara, I don't know what that means. Oh, let me start it over. I really wish you could wear the cowboy outfit on the stream. Well, I can't actually because of the headphones. I can't wear the headphones and the hat at the same time. That's the only reason. I tried wearing it for one stream. Where did I put it? There it is. It's right here. But I can't wear it. It works for the fedora, but for this one, the brims are too big, so I can't put it on. I can show you just by putting it on like this. But since I want to hear the music, and I need to hear sounds, I have to go with this. But arigato. It is something that I've been wanting to use for more videos. I think I have a very Hayakawa Ken look, don't I? You should get kawaii neko ear headphones. And I've seen those. They do look very kawaii. I do have to say. Jesse-san, any thought on Disney? I don't care for them, and I never have. I think Disney characters are sugoi in Kingdom Hearts because they're handled by they're handled way better. Of course, Nomura knows what he's doing. So those are actually entertaining in that way. But I was gonna say, this is how I was gonna talk about the cover videos, and I'm sure you sortings understand how they work now. We make the song first, and then we record a video, and then editing happens after that. So during the video, since they're recorded in different areas, it's a very interesting technique for making music videos. They do take a lot of time, I have to say. It would be detrimental if you were to die on a bridge in PUBG, though. I don't want to know what that means. Angel-san. Ohayo. Welcome. But you don't play Western games, so you're fine. Okay, it's a Western game. Well, then I'm fine. But yes, the next thing I want to talk about. So I talked about how I do the vlog videos with Joachim. Probably the easiest ones to make. And I talked about the music videos, which is the next thing. It takes a lot more work, of course. Will you ever do a Mansai live show with Joachim? Oh, it would be hard. Joachim is, especially if it's scripted. I'm not sure if Joachim would be able to do it. He has a hard time just acting out on camera. But we do have a Tsukomi and Boke kind of role, where Joachim is the Boke and I'm the Tsukomi. So it would be really interesting to try out, and I could probably ask him, but I'm not sure if it's something that he would, if it's something he would like to do. We will see. Now, as for the next type of videos, the reviews. These ones take up a lot of time, as you probably can imagine. Comment for asking so many questions. Well, no, this is the point of the stream, is to go over just stuff, video ideas, and just my content in general. So that's interesting. Also, remember, if you have any lore questions or about any of the characters, just let me know. I will go over the lore too later, so you can probably ask your questions then when we start getting to that. Reviews. They take up a lot of work because there's so many different steps to take. First, it's the writing process, where I sit down and I brainstorm ideas. Either I have a game in mind that I want to do or talk about, or I just I need to find ideas, and I just sit down and think about it. And some I play a game and I realize, wow, I need to do a video of this because there's too much to talk about here. So I sit down immediately and start writing down stuff. The writing process is what I would say take up the most time. It is the most important part of making a video. Do you make Zelda related content? No, I don't make. I've done a review of Ocarina of Time and Breath of the Wild, so two Zelda videos. I recommend checking them out to hear my opinion on those games. If you're interested. There's also yes, there is the writing process. I have to come up with good points. I have to go through the script, and I have to write down good jokes for the videos, just to break up the video in a good way. The video needs a good start, as well as we need a good hook for the video. So the writing process takes a lot of brain power and a lot of energy. And then after that comes the recording part, which I usually record. I try and record most of it in one sitting, because I need the same. I want the camera to be at the same spot, and I want to have the same clothes, and I want the same type of lighting. I don't want it to change in between. If I'm in one scene and then it changes to a similar scene, but it looks off, it doesn't make any sense. So I'd rather just record everything that's on camera immediately, unless I want to film it in a different location. Then I film them separately. And after that, I do the voiceover, which I just record with the mic that's over here. So I just use the mic like this, and I talk into it and record that. And then what I used to do, since I don't do editing anymore, what I do, or what I did back then, is that I took everything that I recorded and I put it into Vegas Pro. And I started editing, cutting and editing clips, adding music, sounds, and all of that, and getting it into an episode, a Separate Sword 57 episode. And that's how I made my videos. But I don't do the editing anymore. My brother Dave Pretendo, is doing the editing now. So that means that what I do now is very interesting, because what's important when you have an editor is that you are on the same wavelength. That's what's very important. That's why I understand why letting someone else edit your videos would be hard. Dave understands what type of editing I want for my videos. He does seem to understand kind of what I want to do. So what happens after I'm done with writing and recording? Well, I sit down and write again, because I sit down and I write how I want. I write down notes, what he needs to do for editing. Like, use a picture of this, or use this music here. I want it to start at this point in the video, and I send him a YouTube link of the music, and I put a timestamp on there when I want the music to start, and stuff like that. Sometimes when I feel like I don't really, sometimes there's, okay, I want some music here. Then I let him know, use some Final Fantasy VII music in this part, and he usually finds something that he finds suiting, and then he put it in. And those are and then I send off everything that I have. I put them all in a folder, and I send it over to him. Or in worst case scenario, I give him a portable hard drive with all the stuff on it, so he can sit down and work. And then he uploads the video unlisted. I take a look at it and see if something needs to be changed or something needs to be added. And once he's done that, and we went through it, once I'm satisfied with the video, I change the name, or I put a name on it. I start working on the thumbnail, and I do the description, and all of that, and then I make sure to set the video up for upload, and I make it go public. Those are pretty much the steps of how I make my reviews. As you can tell, there's a lot of steps involved in this. So it's some people probably don't know how much work it takes to make these videos because they've never done it before. But it actually takes a lot of work, and I'm sure a lot of swordlings, some swordlings relate who have made videos in the past. Editing process to make a, for example, I talked to Dave when he did the video, the W slur video. That took him, was it 5 hours to edit? And overall, while I did the recording and writing, it must have taken around 15 or 16 hours, just straight, just to make that. And it's only how long is it? I'm pretty sure it's around 6 to 7 minutes. It's 6 minutes. So it takes a lot of work. I made some videos, but they're never as ambitious as yours. Naruto. Yes, it is. The only people that can relate truly are people who make the same type of content, or make more of this long form content that I make. Sefsama, have you ever watched Jerma 98? No, I don't know who that is. I have no idea. Is he a YouTuber? But yes, that's why I am. But it's worth it. Making these videos are 100% worth it because, well, it's. I see all these swordlings that I have, and I'm also getting. By the way, I'm getting really. No data? Am I still live? Oh, excellent connection. Okay, never mind. We're doing fine. But yes, there are. It is definitely worth it because of all the swordlings that are here. It shows that it works. What are your thoughts on the rhythm game Osu? I've not played it. I think at the time I was not. I played a lot of puppet music back in the day. That was my DDR, and puppet music was my rhythm games. And I haven't played rhythm games since. Puppet music was the last one I was really into. I had the PS2 controller, and it's really expensive now. The puppet music PS2 controller. Okay. Let me show you. Oh, they've gone down in price actually. Oh, okay, they're not that expensive anymore. These used to be a couple of $100. Wow, look at this. Look at this. I had one of those. These used to be really expensive. And now they're not even $100. But yes, this is one of the controllers I used for puppet music. One of my favorites. One of my favorite rhythm game series. By Konami, of course. They've always been really good with the rhythm games. What would be tips for someone who wants to get into video reviewing games? I would suggest to make sure that you have fun with the videos, and also be objective. you need to be objective and tell the truth. Don't let your feelings get in the way of making reviews, because you need to be objective and show people what's actually good. Unless you're making a video about your personal tastes and why you like them, that is fine. Where am I from? I am from Sweden, but I personally relate more to Japanese culture and Japanese people, which is why I'm going to move to Japan. Do I still play rhythm games? Not anymore. I would like to go back to it, but I haven't played Sense Pop and Music since it was the late 2000s, early 2010s. Was the last time I played. I made a game review about Osu, but then Adobe decided to die, and I couldn't fix it. Naruto. Adobe Premiere, I assume. I want to move to Japan too. Are you learning Japanese now? I already know Japanese on a conversational level. I've been to Japan. And next time I'm traveling there, I'm gonna be traveling around the country to find the place I want to live. Rhythm games are fun, but so few of them are available in the West. It's true. It's true. They are very hard to. They are really hard because. As you remember, there was this really baka rhythm game, and rhythm games aren't taken serious by the West. They just see them as fads that die out. That's all it is. We had this really baka series called Guitar Hero, a bunch of just bad songs, and a bunch of just. The way that it worked was very awful. I remember trying it out, and the fact that you have to the controller was really awful and not fitted for. It was a gimmick. It was a toy, and it wasn't made to actually test your rhythm. Not at all. It was just really. It was awful. Will you be making videos about your trip? I definitely will, but I don't have any plans right now to move to or to travel to Japan. I don't have that type of income. But once my YouTube channel becomes profitable enough that I will be able to travel there, I will definitely do that. And I will make videos, absolutely. But I will see when that happens. I don't know when. Where in Japan do you want to move? The countryside or the city? I would like to have to be closer to a city or a smaller city. I would say. I do want to be close to a more. I am a city person myself, so I want to be. I'm not really much for the countryside. I'd like to go there. I like to go to the countryside in for a vacation or for maybe. For just a little while, but I wouldn't want to live in the countryside. Have you tried out a TCG arcade machine? Those must be fun. I have not done one also. I have. I did play mostly when I went to be honest, when I went to Japan, the arcade machines that I mostly played on were Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Because it was the first time since the late 90s or early 2000s that I'll be able to fight against people in Third Strike, and there was a lot of them. And you can tell this is a good story. So I went into one of the, I don't remember which one of it. They have a lot of arcades in Tokyo, but one of them that I went into last time had a lot of people playing Third Strike, and they were doing tournaments and stuff. I was not able to enter any of the tournaments, but I was able to play just casually against a bunch of them. And when there's new people showing up, they are very excited. They were very excited to see some new people, because I'm guessing they do get the same rotation of people there play. So when there's someone new, and I am an auto player myself, so that's also a very unique thing. Not a lot of them play. There aren't that many auto players there. I think there was one more, maybe, or was it two? There might have been two, but I think there was only one that I remember that played as auto as well, and we were having a great time. That was and they were. What was fun about it is that they were very excited, and then when I left, they were hoping that I could come back, and I told them that unfortunately I will be going home. I will be going home at the end of the week, so I won't be able to. I won't be able to be there too often, and I could tell they were a bit disappointed, but I couldn't really do anything about that. To find people that also play Third Strike on that level is very hard. You do not find that in the West, especially with a game like Third Strike. That's a game that's over 20 years old. Yes, it's very hard. Yes, there are a lot of good stores, a lot of really good small stores, and retro game stores as well are very successful. It's really great. Yes, I have tried the Fight Kid, and I've even played against a couple of swordlings on there, on a stream once. It is quite a hassle to get working, but I would like to set up on the Discord server, which, by the way, you can join the official Sefsama Discord server. It's in the link in the description. I want to set up a fighting game channel for people who plays fighting games. And I've been thinking, I have not played a fighting game in a long time, and once Virtua Fighter, as you all know, there is a big reboot of Virtua Fighter happening, and I want to get in on that. Once Sega has started coming out with the revamped or the new Virtua Fighter, I still don't know what they're doing with it. But once they do that, I really want to get in on that. So for any of you who wants to play Virtua Fighter in the future, that would be super sugoi. I know that if there is a fighting game I want to get back into, it would probably be Virtua Fighter. I want to play a Sega game, and I want to support Sega. How often do you stream like this? Now I've streamed every day this week. Since Saturday I've been streaming every day. Or was it Sunday? But anyway, I stream every Saturday. There is a schedule down below. I will be streaming on Saturday as well. And I will probably be either playing some games or or something. I only play Street Fighter V casually. Yes, I have heard the issues of Street Fighter V. I think the game is sugoi, especially with Gil and Seth. I think those are great additions. Those are great characters that they've added. But I've heard that I wasn't really into Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was my game, and I didn't really keep up with too much on that stuff. When it came out, how viable a lot of the apparently a lot of the characters don't really aren't really that great in Street Fighter 5 from what I understand. But the new characters that have come out are really great, which is interesting. I'm not sure if that saves the overall game since the roster is so all over the place. But at least the last couple of characters are interesting. I like when I play Street Fighter 5, I play a set personally. What are your thoughts on Sephiroth being added to Smash? Let me just do this. I made a video about it.
Well, Nintendo, you've done it yet again. You put Sephiroth in Smash Brothers. Something needs to be done. You can't keep doing this. You took one of the best characters ever from the best game ever made. This is what you get. Oyasumi, GameCube.
There we go. Yes, that's pretty much sums up my feelings on that. It had to be done, yes. That did feel quite good. They keep updating it, so it got a bit better since launch. Oh, interesting. Yes, I have it on my PS4. How many of you Swordlings have it on PS4? It would be interested to know. Geguru-san, Geguru-san, Sef-sama, I've been watching you for many years now, and I've got one question. What is your favorite type of Japanese food? Greetings from Germany. Oh, arigato for watching me for so many years. Tonkatsu. Tonkatsu is my favorite type of food. Absolutely. That's my number one. I like gyoza a lot as well. That is a really, really good one. Tonkatsu is my favorite Japanese food. That makes me... Oh, I would really like some of that right now. That would be really nice. Would you eat natto? I have eaten it. I enjoy it. I do think a lot of Westerners are picky when it comes to food. Especially natto has a very acquired taste, I guess. But it's because you need to have other things around you to eat. Natto is best when it's complemented with a specific Eh? Oh, you like my... Oh, arigato, Angel-san. I had tonkatsu on ramen the other day. Super sugoi. Yes, it is great. But natto is really great for when you have a good drink. It depends from different people. It has to do with your taste buds. What works best? What best combination of food you have on the side as well while you're eating natto. but it is a very good meal, very interesting. Let's see. Nintendo should have never betrayed Sony in favor of siding with a guiding company like Philips. Yes, but that's one thing I have to, well, for once, thank Nintendo, because Sony would have been tricked into be siding with a company that works for the Yakuza, and it would have been too late. Luckily, they could make their own console, and they were even more successful than Nintendo. So, we got something good out of it, which was the PlayStation. And Nintendo could never be trusted to begin with. Do you Swordlings know the restrictions that they had on the old Nintendo Entertainment System? Did you know that they had to sign a contract so that developers couldn't release games on other systems? And they could only release a limited amount of games a year? Have you heard of such nonsense? Absolutely awful. Can you write kanji? I can write a couple of kanji. There are some really there's some of them that takes over. Some of them have around 30 strokes, and those are really hard to. There's a lot of kanji out there, but the most useful ones I have learned, and I'm still learning. That is something a lot of Japanese people even have a hard time with. So it is understandable. Will Dave upload any videos soon, or is he too busy editing for you, Sef-sama? I must say, I have quite enjoyed his Super Retro Guy video. Oh, naruhodo. I don't know about that one. I'm not sure if I've seen that. He has talked about making videos. He is a procrastinator. He has talked about making videos ever since, if you remember, my first couple of update videos, I talked about how Dave was gonna upload a video soon. And that never happened. So, I don't know. I don't know. Well, you can check him out on you can check him out on Dave Pretendo. I have him linked on my YouTube channel among Nakamas. I have him right there. He's also the editor for my videos, like you mentioned. But yes, that's all I really know. Console exclusivity is also part of Sony for marketing reasons, though. Not in the same way. It's because Nintendo put restrictions down that every single company had to do that, while on the other hand, Sony discusses a fair and intelligent proposal to developers that would you maybe like to make a game for our system. It's way different. If they couldn't, if you wanted to release games for the Nintendo Entertainment System back in the 80s, you had to agree with Nintendo's restriction, and you could only release for their system for a couple of years. There was no agreement, there was nothing fair about it. If you want your games on there, you can only put them on there. That was their idea. Sony are always fair. And that's why the Master System didn't get a lot of games on there, unfortunately. Kenny-san, Nintendo forced Konami and Capcom, fellow superior Japanese developers, to make fake companies in order to sell more than a couple of games per year. Really? Did they do that? That is awful. Did that apply for the SNES or only the NES? Only the NES. Or the SNES, because once Sega stepped in, they put their foot down and they said, no, you can't do this. And a lot of companies then abandoned Nintendo to make games for the superior Sega Mega Drive. And Nintendo realized, oh well, we can't have these restrictions anymore because nobody's making games for a system then. So they had to get rid of it, which is a good thing. Unfortunately, some systems were already tied to Nintendo so heavily, so changing system would only hurt them, unfortunately. And they were forced to keep making games, not because they had to by Nintendo, but because otherwise they wouldn't be making enough money. Small developers had to release games on a system they didn't even want to develop for. Sony would do quite well if they made a new handheld in a new few years. Yes, they would! A Vita 2! A Vita 2 would be great. Are you interested in other Asian culture? Not really. I have dabbled a bit in Chinese Kempo. And there's some good principles there to learn. Some good... not as good as Japanese, though. There's a lot of fairy tales and made-up stuff in just the kung fu scene, just Chinese Kempo in general. That's what happens when you have a martial art that hasn't been well reformed in over 2,000 years. That is just something that happens. So that's why Japanese martial arts are seen as the standard for just like for example karate. For those of you that don't know, karate means barehanded, meaning that you're not carrying any weapons. You're just using your fists and your legs, and you use it in the most practical way possible. How long have you been a fan of Japanese culture? A true fan, I've been since 2001. But really, it was ever since I was 5-6 years old. When I was... Okay, I've talked about this in the story of Seth-sama video. But when I was 6 years old, I was first exposed. I didn't really watch movies or TV or anything. I did play video games. I did play a lot of Sonic because my first system I got when I was 5 years old was a Sega Mega Drive together with Sonic the Hedgehog. And but then I was exposed to anime at the age of 6, and I watched I guess 6 and up, between a couple of years, up to 96 or something like that. But I did watch stuff that I did watch was Space Adventure Cobra. That was one of the first. I consider that the first anime I ever watched. Space Adventure Cobra is a classic. I also watched Ginga Nagaraboshi Gin. Also, I still don't know if there's an English version of that. I don't think it was ever had an English release. It was only I know it was released in Scandinavia here, so it had a Swedish dub. And there was also a couple of other ones that I did watch. Starzinger was one of them as well. And then later I was exposed to Hokuto no Ken, or Fist of the North Star. This was before I even knew it was Japanese. I knew it was special. I knew there was something about those animated shows that I watched that I didn't know what it was, but there was something special about them, like Ginga Nagarushi Gin, Stahlsinger, Space Adventure Cobra, and Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star were very. They had a similar kind of style to them that I had never seen before. So, but I realized when I watched what came out in '96, I believe. Does Moomin count as anime? Yes, it was. That's also an anime. Even though it was, it's Finnish Swedish. I think it's considered both Finnish and Swedish. Moomin. But it's the books were written by a what was her name? I forgot her name. Either way, all the animated Moomin was done in Japan. That's why it was so popular in Japan in the 60s and 70s, and of course the 90s as well. And I did watch that in the late 90s. But before then, I also watched Bisoujo Senshi Sailor Moon. That was in '96 when the Swedish dub was airing on TV. I watched that. That was the first time I saw anime on TV, and that's when it clicked for me. I was 9 years old, and I realized I understood then that, wow, so this it's actually from Japan, because Sailor Moon takes place in Japan, in Tokyo, and they have Japanese names, they have Japanese arcades and stuff. So that was my first exposure to how Japan looked, both how their school system works and how there were Japanese arcades, which I've never seen before. I didn't even know that arcade centers were a thing. I didn't know that was even a concept. A building or a space where there was just a bunch of arcade machines. I didn't think it existed. So Sailor Moon helped me discover that it's actually from Japan. All of these animated shows that I was from Japan. So it was very interesting, and that's how I learned about it. But I didn't really understand Japanese culture yet. It wasn't until I started reading Naruto in the early 2000s, in 2001, I would say it was. It wasn't until then that I understood that, wow, this culture is subarashi. Lucky Star, yeah, that's one of my favorites. It's always been one of my favorites. It's really funny and really kawaii. I really like Lucky Star. I watched that when it was airing. I remember watching waiting every week for every episode to come out. That was a really good time. It was 2008 or 2007, I believe. I was told some Westerner called Angry Video Game Nerd exposed Nintendo of their crimes in the Baka game Super Mario Bros. 3. Yes, I actually did enjoy watching him in the mid 2000s or late 2000s, I guess. It was from mid to late. Angry Video Game Nerd James Rolfe was actually I think most content creators today have him to thank for just review content in general. We're all inspired by him. Even me to some degree. I didn't think his videos were entertaining. Not anything amazing, but they were entertaining enough. And he talked about bad Nintendo games, so that was that was nice to see for a change. To see someone actually just hating on Nintendo for once. That was good. Yes, they're I guess I've been going over my videos pretty well. thank you for very informative time with you, Sef-sama. But it is unfortunately my bedtime. Oyasumi nasai. Oyasumi nasai to you too, Goku-san. Have a good night. Will you do any more Japanese intro covers? Yes, I can't talk about it right now, but I am working on. I have ideas for covers that I'm gonna do soon. I will say soon. You will definitely see some of it coming next year. I don't know how or when it's gonna be, but it's gonna be soon. So look forward to that. I can't really watch Slice of Life because I have a short attention span. Oh, that's too bad. It's one of the best genres. You're really missing out on good stuff there. But I think I'm gonna go over some Sef-sama lore with you swordlings. I love JoJo Part 4 because it's kind of slice of life. Yes, it is a perfect mix of slice of life and shonen action. Really great. NHK, yes, I watched. I watched that when it came out. Really like it. It's really funny. I really enjoyed that one. Clanad is also good. That's a classic that a lot of people go back. Really sad though. It's a really sad one, but also really heartwarming and nice. Oh, Pita-san. Arigato for watching the stream. Oyasumi. So, let's go over some lore. This will be interesting. I'm gonna be talking about some. Oh, this is gonna be quite something. This is gonna be interesting. For those of you. Okay, so let me bring it up. This one isn't completely. Hold on. This one isn't complete, but it's what I have so far. Let's see if you swordlings can see this. The text will be kind of small, so it will be hard to see, but I will do my best. There we go. Okay. So here we have the official Sephiroth Sword 57 timeline. This includes some of my videos. Not all of my videos are canon, but the lore of this channel is very interesting, and I suggest you solely check out my my other videos, my reviews specifically. All of these ones listed here were not released in the same order. Like for example, the first video that is shown up here is the. Oh, you can't see the cursor. I think it's important to show the cursor here. Let's see. Oh, I guess that works. Oh, hold on. Let me fix this. This should be better. Hold on. Why is it doing that? Come inside. Let me take a look. Oh, there we go. Okay, so what we have. Why is it doing that? Okay, it's not working the way it should. That's really Hidoi. Let me just do this instead. Oh, now it's working? Okay. No, it's not. It's not working! Well, let me just do this instead then. Let me just put it up on stream. It might take up a lot of space, but it's the only way I can do it. I can't just do capture like that, which is really baka. So, hold on. Timeline. No. Work. There we go. Now, it's gonna take up a lot of the screen, unfortunately. But it's just temporary. Let me move over a little bit like this. Okay. So, right here, we have, as you can see, we have the official Sephiroth Sword 57 timeline. What's the background music? This is a tearful twilight in from East, the Oath in Felghana. I can send you the playlist to. This is the song, and the rest of the songs are really great as well, especially this next one coming up. Oh, this is a good one. But yes, this one starts with, as you can see, it's not actually a video, but it's just a text where it says Seth-sama meets Shadow, Crono, and Cloud. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, we get to see the moment Seth meets Cloud for the first time in the lore, and it's actually in the Final Fantasy VII Remake review that I did earlier this year. And it's somewhere, it's not specified where it is, but it is around this time, before, it is around that time where they first meet, before the creepypasta video. The thumbnail? Yes, this is the creepypasta, the Halloween special. Where there's a 50% chance of Seth-sama being cursed by the Tidus Sharingan head, which is something that happens at the end of the video. And as you can see, there's a timeline split. One of them is if Seth was cursed by the Sharingan head, or if he wasn't. There's a 50% chance. And before this, Nintendo gathered all the Dragon Balls. You can see before the timeline, Nintendo gathers all the Dragon Balls, which is something that will make sense later in the timeline. But it's important to go over the left side of the timeline first. So, let's say he gets cursed by the Sharingan head at the end of the first creepypasta, and later The cursed Tidus Sharingan head made it so that he was attacked by Ghost Sakaguchi in the vlog, which led to a bad end. Because Seth-sama mysteriously dies in that, or does he? We never know. He disappears. Why did you choose 57 for your name? Does it hold any special meaning to you? It comes from Agent 57 from an old cartoon called Danger Mouse. A very old one that I watched when I was really small, and that's where it comes from. It doesn't really. I had a hard time coming up with a name when I started my going on internet forums and stuff, and I went with Sephiroth Sword 57. There's more to this bad end. I guess you might maybe see something about that in the future. But yes, let's just say he wasn't cursed by the Sharingan Tidus head, and that's when Seth-sama. Now he has reviewed games earlier, like the Final Fantasy VII remake review, which also he met Cloud, but he also met Link for the first time from The Legend of Zelda, which became kind of a joke and kind of a just a nerd for them to for Cloud and Seth to mess with. And I guess that's what happens in that video. That's not on the timeline, but it would be above the creepypasta. So yes, Seth plays a Mario game because he shows off some of the level design in there. My name is based on the Love Life song, Angelic Angel. Oh, that's what I thought. Yes, that makes sense. Is Seth Daddy still alive, or did he die in the Doom review? He did die in it. He did die. Seth-sama did finish him off. But if you go and check out the April Fool's video of this year, there might be something in it that you would find interesting. So, yes, Seth-sama plays Mario Maker to show off some level design stuff, and that leads into the Bloodborne review, because at the end of the Mario Maker video, Seth is put to sleep with a sleep spell, and Seth-sama acts instinct. Okay, so he gets captured to review Bloodborne, so that Nintendo can get more power from the review. Since he doesn't have a choice in the matter, he reviews the game, and at the end he fights Nintendo, who was behind it all. So what happens is that Seth acts instinctively and unleashes his Bankai without knowing his true power. Yes, it's just he just uses his power without thinking there. Nintendo cursed the Dragon Balls. So Seth finds the Dragon Balls on Nintendo's body, and he uses those Dragon Balls to resurrect Shadow, who died in that review. And he didn't know that they were cursed. So what happened is that Shadow got resurrected with evil intent and already brainwashed by Nintendo, since he put a curse on them. That was a great end fight, by the way. Oh, arigato! The one with Nintendo in that video? Yes, it was. It's one of my favorite fights. And then afterwards, Shadow starts working for Nintendo because it's cursed. Start guiding Seth-sama in his reviews. Yes, you see that. You notice that. If you see, for example, coming up is the Sonic Adventure 2 review, which if you know your Seth-sama chronological order, you would know this is the third review on the channel, which is an early video, but you can already see how Shadow... It's the first time you see Shadow on the channel, but Seth-sama already knows about Shadow and are already friends with him. So, what happens here is that you see how Seth is close to giving up the game, and Shadow comes in and say, "Don't give up." It is to guide him to finish the game, so that when Seth reviews games, Nintendo gain more power, because the energy that Seth uses when he reviews games is stolen by Shadow, and then is then taken to Nintendo. So he uses the review, the objective force, the energy of the objective force, to heal Nintendo's subjective force. So, yes, that is what happens here. And next up, of course, Seth-sama finishes the review. And after that comes Shadow the Colossus. And Seth-sama acts instinctively again when he fights against Shadow the Colossus. And he uses the Kagebushi no Jutsu technique. And also, Shadow the Hedgehog made sure, since he's working for Nintendo, he knows that if I sacrifice myself, then Seth will use some energy that I can use to then give to my master Nintendo, is what he's thinking. So he put a Phoenix down on Seth so that he would know that he had a Phoenix down that he could use to resurrect him. So all of that was planned. So that's what happens. You can tell these reviews, Sonic Adventure 2, and it's the same with all the reviews from now on. You can see that he's doing weird stuff. The next one. This one, Evil Shadow starts acting strange. Yes, as you know, he starts acting more weird. He starts dressing weird and talking weird in this video. Oh yes, and Seth destroys his eardrums. That's right. In this video, as you know, in the fight against Link, who shows up again in this video, he ruptures his eardrums so that the song won't penetrate his ears, and he would get get affected by Link's music. So that's what happens there. And yes, Seth-sama is deaf. From that point on, he's deaf, and he reviews. Oh yes, that's right. When he gets deaf, he has an enhanced eye coordination and reflexes, and he can also read lips, so that he can understand what people are saying. Even though he's deaf, Seth-sama is still able to finish the review with his new enhanced abilities. As you know, Nanami is Seth-sama's cousin, who rings the doorbell at the end of the episode. So yes, nothing too other than showing Nanami and showing that Seth is deaf. He doesn't say it right out he doesn't say it straight out in the video that he is deaf, but you can tell because every time when Shadow shows up, he's staring at Shadow very intensely, just so that he can read his lips, since he can't hear him anymore. You can tell that when he eats ramen in the beginning and when he's looking at Shadow. It makes sense, right? Moon-san. Ohayo. So, yes. That's what happens, is that... that's why. a lot of people don't know that this he was deaf in this video. That is the point of this one. Now, Seth-sama does get his hearing back. Don't worry about that. Actually, we can... Yes, here we go. So, since Nanami shows up, Nanami heals his injury. And because of that, Seth has to sleep for 24 hours to heal his ears and his hearing. Since Nanami is a healer and a white mage, she can do that. And that leads into the Undertale video. And this review took place within Seth-sama's 24-hour sleep and didn't happen in the real world. That's right, so he reviewed a game, which is Undertale, in his dreams. You can tell that video has a very dream-like atmosphere, which is why it takes place in a dream. It has no intro or anything, and the outro is also very different. It has a very different feel compared to a lot of stuff. Oh, hold on. Let me just. Let me just move these. Let's put the alerts above. There we go. In case I see some, so I don't miss any of the alerts. But yes, this takes place in a dream, the Undertale review. And then when he wakes up, as you know, in the beginning of the Pokemon Go video, Seth is sleeping and Nanami goes and wakes him up because he's been sleeping for 24 hours. Evil Shadow reveals that he's working for Nintendo and that Nintendo is close to be resurrected. That's right. This is when Shadow reveals all of that. That he was actually cursed by Nintendo, and he's working for them. So, and yes, as you can tell, Nanami is there and takes care of Seth because he had to heal. He had to sleep. So right before, when he was sleeping, he was doing the Undertale review. And then after it, you know, Shadow goes missing. And Seth goes on a long journey to find Shadow. The 5-year-old journey. From this video, or from this point, it takes 5 years. 5 years. Until the Breath of the Wild video, which takes place 5 years later. They've been searching for Shadow for 5 years. But there's some stuff that has happened here, as you can tell. So let's go over those. So, in the Final Fantasy 15 video, other than the game being super sugoi and that review being very subarashi, Noctis also joins the search and they become close friends. Noctis is still a bit of a, you could say he's still very green. He doesn't really know a lot about reviewing or fighting and stuff yet. He has a lot of potential, but he's not quite as experienced as me or Cloud or Crono. But he still helps out a lot. He has a lot of potential. So, after that, Logan Paul's Inhuman Act happens after. If you all know what Logan Paul did in Japan, he disrespected Japanese locals. He made fun of Japanese culture. He showed no respect. Absolutely disgusting, filthy, and that happened there. That is part of the timeline. Why is this part of the lore? You might think. Isn't that just a rant video on Logan Paul? it is to an extent, but you might hear something about that later. It is definitely part of the lore, and it would make sense later. And next up, this is the first official reveal of Chef Daddy 57 in the lore, as we know it. This was the first video to have Chef Daddy 57 in a canon setting, and he is defeated by Chef-sama. They have kind of like a rivalry going on, as you can probably tell. At points he is very antagonistic, and then there's points where they have to work along. He's more of an antagonist than being neutral or anything like that. But he is annoying, and of course, yes, he's a nerd actually, who's just putting on an act. So he is of course defeated by Chef-sama with no problem at all. And then after Chef-sama rests after searching for Shadow, while Iga-san takes responsibility for Aria of Sorrow. That's right. As you all know, Iga-san honorably commits seppuku in this video, Igarashi. And that's when he... and that's a very powerful moment. A very cool and powerful moment in the lore. Very respectful, as you would expect from Iga-san. And that's also we might hear some more about Iga-san later, but for now, that's where the 5-year search ends. There's definitely more stuff that happened during this time, but these are the videos I have so far that takes place during that. And 5 years later, they find the location of Shadow and Nintendo. Chef-sama lost the battle and gets stabbed by a Shadow clone. That's right. So there's a clone of Shadow that shows up and stabs Chef. And because of all those 5 years, Nintendo are way too powerful now. But not that much powerful than Chef-sama. So what Chef-sama does is that he gets stabbed, and then we don't know anything more. And then it goes over to Sephiroth Sword 57 Gaiden episode 1. It's when it starts. I have to go now, Chef-sama. I turned on the bell notification, so I'll try and join your next stream. Oh, subarashi! Arigato, Angel-san. That is great. Arigato for hanging out and chatting. And I will be streaming this Saturday, so if you're interested in there is a schedule down below in the description for those who are wondering. But yes, as you know, what happens in Gaiden, we still don't know. We don't really know what happened between the Breath of the Wild video and Gaiden episode 1. We don't really know what happened to Chef-sama after he was stabbed. That is something that I know. I know what happened because I have it written down. Sayonara. Oh, sayonara to you too. But okay, so I'm not gonna reveal that. That's a spoiler. It hasn't happened yet. But it is something for the future. For Gaiden. So look forward to that when that is happening. But that is the timeline so far. And as you can probably tell, there's still a lot of things to explore, especially during this 5-year search for Shadow. There's still a lot of things going on there. There's a lot of content missing from the start of the timeline over here, where he meets Shadow and Crono for the first time. We haven't seen that yet. So that is something that would be that is something that will be very interesting. But for now, that's the timeline. Where does the Final Fantasy VII remake review fit in? Right here in the beginning, before the creepypasta. Since that's the first time Seth-sama meets Cloud. So it's very early on in the timeline. Is it before he meets Crono or Shadow? I can't really answer that. But it is before the creepypasta. All four of them know each other before the creepypasta happens. I can tell you that. So, I've been going now for, oh wow, almost 3 hours. I've talked about everything that I want to talk about today, my swordlings. So let's have a few discussions before I end the stream. Before I wrap it up. It's almost 1 a.m. for me. So I can't go on for much longer. But if you swordlings still have any question about the lore, let me know. Are there any specific scenes that you don't really get? A lot of this is very deep, so I understand if some swordlings haven't been able to figure out some stuff from it. Shrimper-san, your videos are pretty cool. Been a fan for a long time. Oh, arigato. So you're an old school swordling. That's really sugoi. I have, yes, I've been going now for 6 years. It's been 6 years. And I have so much more to learn. I have a lot of attention to detail. Can't wait for more lore. That's great. Yes, there's definitely more coming. Especially with there's a review series coming out. Oh, that didn't really. I guess that doesn't. Well, I can't really say what that means. But it is something that is coming out. That was supposed to be an anniversary video, and it turned into 4 separate videos instead. You will see. You students will see what it is later. But yes, this has been a super sugoi stream. Arigato for everyone who has contributed the last couple of the last week. Look at that, we reached the goal. That is very subarashi. And well, I guess for Saturday will be the next stream. Tomorrow I will be busy working on some, going to get my internet back, and I will let you swordlings know once the internet is back. If not, I will definitely make sure that I stream. Will Nanami-chan have a considerable role in Gaiden Part 2? Okay, I can actually answer this one. No, she won't. Nanami-chan is not forgotten. I can tell you that. But in episode 2, she won't have a big role in that. I can tell you that. Now, I don't know how much I can actually reveal. Let's not go. I'm just not gonna talk about it. I think that's better. But yes, stream on Saturday. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing since I've. I might just play some Sonic 3 and Knuckles to celebrate, or I might do something different. I don't know. But these last couple of streams has been super sugoi, and I hope you Solings enjoyed this stream as well. I have been having a great time, and we have had around 20 to 30 viewers this stream, so it's been super ashi. Can't wait for a stream on Saturday. Yes, and it's important to that I point out too that the stream will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. 12 a. Let's see. Yes, 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 a.m. Central European Time and 8 a.m. for Japanese Standard Time. So those are the you can probably figure out which one you're fitting into there. And yes, that's gonna be maybe play some Final Fantasy on stream. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, that's a good idea. I might do that. That sounds great. But yes, my swordlings, this is the end of the stream. And arigato so much for today. And I will see you swordlings on Saturday. I might have some updates tomorrow about what's going on. But with the internet. But other than that, I will see you swordlings on the stream on Saturday. Oyasumi, and have a good night, evening, morning, or day. And I will see you swordlings then. Moshi mosh!